What's up, y'all? I'm Kiara and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more of my content. If you're not, hey girl, how you doing? And how's this first week of school treating you? Let me know down below in the comments. Welcome back to the second episode of Kiara Cooked It. Now, I always ask my kids for dinner ideas before they get out of the car for school in the morning. Trinity wanted Sunday dinner on a Thursday, so we gonna make it happen. Let me show y'all how I cook my pot roast. Now, I haven't been to the grocery store, so I'm gonna use what I got at home to execute this meal. So we're gonna make a pot roast with some mashed potatoes and gravy. So for the vegetables in my roast, I'm going to chop up a green bell pepper, a yellow onion, and this fresh garlic. Now, when I get down to stuff that just been sitting there, I know I need to go ahead and use it before it start going bad. When I picked up the bell pepper, look, you can tell it was just about to get bad. So we're going to go ahead on and use this because we don't waste no groceries in here. And when it comes to vegetables for the roast and stuff like that, I don't mind having them cut big because they're going to all get softened and end up getting mixed in with the gravy anyway. It took me a long time to learn how to peel garlic, and this is all you got to do. To peel fresh garlic, you take it just like this in the shell. Take a knife, beat it down. The skin going to come right off. If you ever in a time crunch and need to cook a roast for real and have it real tender, falling apart, you need your Dutch oven. Because we ain't got time for the crock pot. The crock pot going to take 12 hours. It's going to take 3. You need a Dutch oven. If you any kind of grown up and you ain't got no Dutch oven, what are you doing? In our Dutch oven, we're going to put it on the stove and we need to get this real hot. You're going to add some olive oil because you're going to need to saute your vegetables before adding that roast. And put a generous amount of olive oil in here because we're going to sear that roast too before we start cooking it. While we waiting on that to get hot, I done put out all the seasonings I'm going to use for this roast. I got some thyme, complete seasoning. This Kinder's caramelized onion and butter. This is the holy grail. This works so good with beef. You got to try it. I'm going to use some tomato chicken bouillon. Of course, black pepper. I love black pepper. Some garlic powder and onion powder. Good thing about cooking a roast, you can season as you go too. These are the base seasonings I'm going to use. So I'm going to taste this as I go to see where I want my flavor at. And then I'll know what to add, you know what I'm saying, to make it delicious. Scrumptious. You know this pot hot. You see that smoke rising? Look at that. Yes, ma'am. It's important to saute your vegetables before you add the meat because it's going to release the flavors from the vegetables. You will smell it. You're going to saute this until it becomes translucent. That means you want your onions see-through. Oh, it smells so good. These vegetables are ready to add that meat. Y'all see how that onion right there is see-through? That's how you know your vegetables are sauteed well. The flavors is released already. Now I'm going to bring my roast, my cleaned roast. I'm going to drop that right in there. I didn't season it because this is going to be like a soup. So when I season the soup, this is going to be seasoned too. We're going to let that sear for a few minutes. Then we're going to add our seasonings in there. So I just flipped the roast. Y'all see these little brown marks right here? That's what we want to get on the roast before we start adding our seasonings in here. Now, usually if you would have seasoned this before, it would have had like a little burn thing on the top. But like I said, we're cooking this fast, y'all. So I got this pot real hot, y'all, because I really want to cook all that oil out from the bottom. Yep, like that. I got a good brown on there. Now I'm ready to start adding my seasonings in. But first, I'm going to add some water. Tell me why I thought I was going to be fancy and go find a cute little measuring cup to put the water in here for y'all. Child, please. Y'all know how I get down. We're going to add water to that and it's going to cool this pot right down. That's just enough water. I'm going to turn that heat down because now I'm ready to season this and I want it to burl. So we're going to start with the caramelized onion butter. And you want to season this generously because it's going to, you know what I'm saying, as it cooks, you're going to add water. You're going to add seasoning. And you can taste this as you go too. Go in with my complete seasoning. And when you season your food, if it don't smell seasoned, it ain't seasoned. You need to add something else to it. We're going to go in with the tomato chicken bouillon. This is a gem, y'all. Like, if you don't cook with this, oh my God, this is a party in your mouth. But season with this as you go. Don't add a lot from the get-go. because this is flavorful. Black pepper. And I always skip seasoning with the little small holes on the side. I don't got time for that. I could control how much I put in here with the big side. Yep. Add your garlic powder, your onion powder. And we're going to add some thyme in there. I need to just add the rest of this, but I don't want it to be too tiny. Flip it over, get that seasoning down in that water. Now I'm going to add the lid to this and let it cook for 2 hours. I'm not going to touch it, not going to add no seasoning, nothing. Just let it cook. It's been about 2 hours. Let's check on this roast. Let's see if it's tender. It's getting there. That's why you need Dutch oven. In about another hour, this is going to start falling apart by itself. Look at that. Look how tender it is. Yeah. So now I'm going to taste this juice to see if I need to add anything or not. Okay. Look at how easy it is to break up. It's only been 2 hours. Y'all know roast take like 6 hours to cook, if not longer, if you put it in that crock pot. So if you ain't got no Dutch oven, get your Dutch oven. So I tasted it. I'm going to add a little bit of Worcestershire sauce to this. And then I'm going to add one of these onion soup recipe packets to this roast. And we're going to let this cook down some more. Look at how that, ooh. And we just going to let that blend and mix and let that cook for like another hour. And that should be ready. Let me taste that since I added that stuff. Perfect. Yeah, that's all it needed. Anything else gonna make it salty. So I'm gonna cover this back up and I'm gonna start on the mashed potatoes. So when I make mashed potatoes, I either like to use red potatoes or golden yellow potatoes. But today we got red, so that's what we finna chop up. The good thing about making the mashed potatoes is I can season these lightly because my roast is so flavorful. Usually I would make like some ranch potatoes or something, but we just gonna keep this simple. It took me a long time to learn how to cook just enough instead of cooking a whole bunch. I used to cook enough for a Sunday dinner to feed like 12 people, but I've gotten really good at eyeballing the food and cooking just enough so it's maybe a little bit of leftovers, not so much so that it goes in the garbage. And I asked Trinity if they wanted a vegetable. She said no thanks. So it's been about another 30 minutes and it done loosened up a whole bunch. Real falling apart, y'all. Let me taste it real quick just to make sure it's all right. So when I'm making homemade mashed potatoes, I put some of the water in here from the potatoes and I'm gonna drain the rest of it off. These mashed potatoes is good and tender. I'm going to add a little bit of heavy whipping cream because I ain't got no regular milk, y'all. I only got almond milk. So we're going to add a little bit of heavy whipping cream. We're going to add some sour cream. Short on that, too. I need to go to the stove. We're going to season these lightly. A little bit of seasoned salt. Of course, black pepper. We're going to add a little bit of that water from the potatoes. These going to be creamy. I got some open potatoes in here just to thicken these up a little bit. So we're going to add this up. Now they're the perfect consistency. Thick and creamy. Let me taste it. I'm going to add a little butter and these going to be done. And just like that, dinner is done before my babies get home from school. That's good right there, y'all. That is good. Oh, I'm going to eat this too fast. Let me slow down. And I love the fat on the roast. And that's a wrap for episode 2 of Kiara Cooked It. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more of my content. Love y'all. Bye, y'all. Baby, even though it ain't Sunday and roast is for Sunday dinner, that was a good idea, Trini. I should have ate this with a spoon so I could have scraped my sides right there, y'all.